it going, guys? Carl here from North Coast Constrictors, Belito, South Africa, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. Okay guys, this is a video on reticulated pythons, and I'm going to pull out some of my retics. Actually did this video yesterday and I was going to upload it tonight, and I'm glad that I didn't, because one of the retics that I'm going to feature on this video was in shed yesterday, and I actually said on the video she's probably going to shed out in the next 24 hours. And I got home and I was going to upload the video I did yesterday, and I checked in the snake room, and the girl that I couldn't feature on yesterday's video has shed out, which means I can pull her out, which means I get to show all of the retics. Plus I'll also get to show, and it'll be pictures up here, okay, of retics that are on my bucket list, 2 retics in particular that I'm thinking about buying in the future. Or the same genetics at least, okay, to pair with the males that I've got. So let's start off with a Motley het albino male reticulated python. He is a yearling, sub-adult. He is just under 2 years old. Okay, now when you see him, he is not as big as what a lot of breeders' 2-year-old retics would be. That's because he hasn't been power fed, and I'm not like doing this for the retics. For me is a passion, a breeding project. Okay, I've only got 4 retics. I'm gonna have 6 in the next couple of months, because there are 2 females that I want to buy, 2 more females. So I basically want 2 females for each male. So I've got 2 males and 2 females at the moment, and I want to get another 2 females for each male. But you can see I'm a ball python breeder. The rest of these racks here are all ball pythons. I do have 2 Dumerals bows, but they are pets. The retics, that is going to be a specialized project. Now I do not power feed my retics. Not that there's anything that wrong with power feeding them. If you want to breed it and you want to smash them every week and get them up to, because in 2 years time you can get a retic to 10-12 feet easily. You can do it. Okay, now this boy is 2 years old, and you can see he's not that big, but the males, you don't actually really need that big to breed. Okay, the females the females 4 to 5 years old at least, and nothing under 10 feet if you're going to breed them. Okay, so none of my females are breeding ready. In fact, the one that shed out, I'm going to show you, she should be breeding ready by next year, 2023, but the chances are it's going to be closer to 2024. And she's busy checking me out here, but we're going to end off with her because she's a special girl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my boy here. This is Kratos. Notice I've got my snake hook. I tap train hook, tap train hook, whatever you want to say. I always put it in first, touch them on the top of their head, somewhere on the body, and it gets them out of feeding response, okay? Because if I just had to slide open the glass and stick my hand straight in there, there's a 99.9% chance that I'm going to get bitten, because the snake is going to sense his heat. From its heat pit, it's going to think I'm offering food. It's probably going to think my hand is a prey item, and it's going to bite me, and it's going to be sore. Okay, so I use my snake hook and I get them out of feeding response, and that puts them in an inquisitive response. Then they know, okay, it's not dinner time, what's going on here? Puts them in inquisitive mode, and then I pull them out and I handle them, and then they're fine. Okay, so let's start off with this guy. Look, that straight out, look at him, look at that, immediate response. Okay, so now all I do is, now he's busy smelling for food. His initial reaction there was to come out and look for food. Okay, now I've already got him on the snake hook. He can see, he can smell me. He's on his way out, and he's now in inquisitive mode. He knows my scent, he knows my smell, and he's not trying to bite me in any way, shape or form. My only thing is that I've got to try and get him now out of his enclosure. Okay, and he loves to wrap himself around the driftwood, which I've got inside here. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad to get him out today, and it wasn't. Okay, so there we go, guys. But do you see how he came shooting out the tank there? Let me just take these glasses off because the glare back from the camera light is blinding. Now, this is a beautiful Motley het albino reticulated python. He's a male, as I say, he's just under 2 years old. And you can see he's not as big or as thick as what other 2-year-old males are. And that's perfectly okay. But in a year's time, when I do breed him, because I'm going to breed him next year, he will be a lot bigger and a lot thicker. Okay, yes, my boy. Guys, I know that during this video, you're going to see my interaction with my retics and how I interact with them. I let them come very close to my face. They come over my head. Please, guys, don't do as I do if you don't know your snake. If you are a new retic keeper or you are a person that's thinking about getting retics and keeping them, please understand that I handle my retics constantly. They are trained not to be head shy. You can see I've got my hand right over his head. I can put him right up to my face and talk, and even though I've got a heat sense coming off my breath, he's not going to bite me. It's because he knows me, and it's a trust thing. Okay, you have to know your animal, you have to know your snake. The last thing you want to do is, oh, we saw Carl from North Coast Constrictors pull out his retic and gave it a kiss, and the next minute you do that with your retic, which you don't know, and you're brand new to it, and keeping retics, and maybe you go buy yourself a yearling or an adult or whatever. And I've had this guy for over a year, so he was small when I bought him. I've built up trust and developed a relationship with him, if you want to so to call it, and I know him, I know his behavior, I know he's not an aggressive snake, he's a very inquisitive snake. So guys, what I'm saying is it takes time and whatever to build up that kind of relationship where you can handle your snakes like this. And having said that, I highly recommend it. Please, these snakes are not meant to just sit in an enclosure for their whole lives and be looked at through the glass. Okay, venomous snakes, sure. Okay, because one bite from a venomous snake and you're pretty much dead. But these are beautiful active reptiles. These are the apex predators of the constriction world. And constrictors, reticulated pythons, the longest constrictor, the longest snake in the world, the heaviest and biggest snake in the world, body mass would be the anaconda, obviously, the green anaconda. But when it comes to length, nothing beats the reticulated python, okay? But this is still a baby. This boy, a retic, the biggest in captivity, where I know, has been 27 feet. But your average retic is, when fully grown, you're looking at around about the between 15 to 18 foot mark, 18 to 20 foot mark, and there have been quite a few examples I've seen on YouTube on other retic breeders channels of like 20 up to 23 feet retics and whatnot. Okay, but they're kind of like 15 to 18 feet is kind of like where the norm is. Okay, this guy's not even 6 feet. I mean, I'm 6'1", and I don't like to, but I mean, he's probably about 5 foot. Okay, shame. I don't like to do that. I don't like to hang my snakes. Okay, so this is Kratos. Now, what I want to show you is that he shed out yesterday, and I'm going to try and get it so that I can show. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the light off on this. I'm going to try and see if the iridescence comes out on his body, if at all. If you can see it, not in my face though. It'll come in stages, I guess. If I hold it too close, you probably won't see it, unless. I hope I'm really trying to show. Okay, basically it's like a mother of pearl color on the snake's body. If I hold it, and it's like the inside of a seashell. Okay, now when he is in his enclosure and in his tank, there's an LED light that shines down on him, and you see these beautiful iridescent colors on him. It's absolutely stunning. Okay, yeah, so that's what he looks like in the sunlight, you know. But when you turn the light off, he just looks like a brown and tan and olive retic, you know, but still a beautiful specimen. But you know, shine lights on him, and it's a whole different ball game, absolute whole different ball game. So this is my boy Motley, het albino. I'm pretty sure he's 100% het albino because the breeder that I got him from, I know. And although when in doubt and you're selling a snake, just say possible het. Okay, don't say 100% het guaranteed, because if it doesn't prove out, it's going to ruin your reputation. Rather let somebody be pleasantly surprised that you sell to. Okay, so this is my amazing boy here. Love him to bits. He's an absolute specimen. And let's get him back in his enclosure. And I'm going to pull out two other retics that that are for future breeding projects coming up. Unfortunately, those projects are only going to be in 2025, because the snakes that I'm going to put out now, they are purple, they are Motley purple albino, 100% het titanium, or otherwise known as citron. But they're both yearlings, and the female will only be able to breed in when she's about 5 years old. So I've got about 4 years to wait. Also relatively small, okay, because I'm not power feeding. Now I'm just now only increasing the size of their prey and the frequency of which I'm feeding them. I don't want to overgrow them. I don't want to grow them too quickly. They do eat every 7 days, every 7 to 10 days. The young ones that I'm going to put out now, like every 7 days. That guy there probably every 10 days, and then the biggest female that I've got, which is still only about between 7 and 8 feet, she eats probably once every 10 days, maybe once every 2 weeks. Okay, but her meals are now, I'm starting to increase the size of her meals, and she's putting on a lot of weight, and she wasn't shed, and she's just shed. So, but let me pull out these guys for you here. Okay, so now this is a female. Now she is in the blue, right? So it's actually quite a good example to show you now because the male has shed a couple of days ago. So what you're going to see now is actually quite a poor quality example, because she's very dull. So you must understand, and then I'll show you what the snake can look like. Okay, all right. So she's an absolute sweetheart. Now she's het for titanium. Now the reason why I've got two of these snakes, and I'm breeding them together to produce visual titaniums. Motley purple albino titaniums is what I'm going. In fact, I'm going for super Motley purple albino titaniums, because they've both got Motley. They're both identical. So I could, if I hit the 6 trait jackpot combo, I'll be producing super Motley purple albino titanium, visual titanium. Now she is in the blue. Her belly's a little bit pink. And I also know she's in the blue because that head of hers is normally pure white. The top of her head is white. Now it's like a creamy off-white color at the moment, and that's because she has got that, she's dulled out, you know, everything, the colors aren't sharp, the colors aren't bright, but she's going to shed. But she's an absolute sweetheart. But you can see she's still very small and very young. So this is a project in the making. That'll be 4 years in the making still. And let me pull out the male to show you what that. And please also understand that the male that I'm going to pull out, when she sheds out, her colors are cleaner. Her head stamp is even whiter. Her head is even whiter than the male that I'm going to pull out. She is absolutely stunning. In fact, here's a photograph of her here after she's just shed. This is how white her head is. Oh, look at you. I'm getting kisses. So that's what she looks like now, you know, without shedding. And then look at the difference in that photograph there of how white her head actually is after a fresh shed. So guys, Motley purple albino het titanium. And getting her back into her tub is another story, because she just loves to be held. So wants to come straight back out, not interested. Sorry, girl. No. Very, okay. Okay. This is the male. Exact same genetics, okay? Motley, purple albino, head titanium. Notice how much more white their head is. And he shed, notice those colors. Okay, amazing colors on this snake. Maybe that's, let me just try something. If I can, without overdoing the colors or whatever, try and shine the torchlight so you can see. Yes, hello, how are you? You're on YouTube. That female there, her name is Asclepius, Eden, and this male here, his name is Asclepius. Okay, now for those that don't know, Asclepius is, if you look, you know, when you see a pharmacy or a hospital or a medical depot or medics or nurses or doctors, they've got like a staff with a snake wrapped around it, okay? That is in Greek mythology, I think it's Greek mythology, the serpent of healing. That's why doctors and medical professions use that staff. A lot of people wonder why a snake is used, which is supposed to be dangerous and poisonous and whatever, but it's symbolic of medical and healing. Now that is Greek. That snake is in Greek mythology as the serpent of healing, and its name is Asclepius. Okay, in Greek mythology, and that's what this boy's name is. Okay, he is Asclepius. So when I breed those two together, the object will be super motley, purple albino titaniums. We can only hope. There are lots of other different combinations. Well, there's a couple of different combinations. Obviously, just motley, purple albino titanium instead of super motley, or just it might not even hit the visual titanium. We might just get 66% hits, because if you don't hit the visual, then all the babies will be 66% hit. So yeah, that's that. Okay. So those are two amazing snakes. Okay. Over here is a picture of him after a fresh shed. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to have to reposition my camera around, and I'm going to pull out my lavender albino retic. She's just a lavender albino. She's a bit bigger, but where the camera is positioned for me to pull her out and I want to film pulling her out, I have to reposition the camera and open up the glass. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, so welcome back. She's right up against the glass here. She's just shed out. This is Honey, my lavender albino reticulated python. She's been in shed for a while, and I'm now going to pull her out for the very first time. I'm actually quite glad that I'm managing to do this. There may be a little bit of stuck shed on her still. Notice that I'm using my snake hook here, guys. I'm just getting her out of feeding mode. I'm letting her know that I'm not offering her a meal. I'm also going to remove some big pieces of wood here so that I can get her out. Okay, unfortunately she is still busy shedding. Hey, you girl, how's it going? I thought she'd finished shedding, but she is not. Okay, so guys, what we've got here, and I'm not going to put up, the retics are sometimes very difficult when they shed, so you got to see what she looks like, but I'm not going to pull her out, unfortunately. But what I am going to do is I'm going to spray her down. Okay, and that's just going to help her finish up shedding. So it's not going to like it very much, but that water on her, I don't want to get zapped on that side either. she'll finish. What she'll do is she'll rub. Okay, go back this side. Okay, I'm giving her a good. I would probably actually, you know, if I wasn't making this video now, I'd take her out and put her in a bath, on a lukewarm water of bath, like we're sitting at about 30 degrees Celsius, 31 degrees Celsius. And I'm giving her an absolute proper. Now what she's going to do now, is she's going to get the rest of that shed off by rubbing up against this driftwood here. Okay, so unfortunately I didn't get to pull her out, but at least you got to see my girl Honey, my lavender albino, 100% het genetics drop retic. Stick around. Okay guys, so with all that being said and done, you had a chance to see the 4 retics that I've got in my collection. I would have loved to have pulled Honey out completely and given her a nice show off, but you know, I soaked her down now. She's going to shed the rest, she'll get the rest of that stuck shed off. During the course of this evening, she'll rub up against the driftwood there and get that water that I sprayed her down with now. That helps immensely. Retics never generally have a good one single solid shed. It's something that you'll get to understand if you have retics. It looks like a bomb's gone off inside the enclosure. So anyway guys, but what I do want to end off the video is I want to show you 2 pictures of snakes, that is two reticulated pythons that a friend of mine owns. We'll start off with a tiger lavender albino over here. Okay, there's going to be another one coming up as well. I'll save the best for last. That is a female tiger lavender albino. Stunning snake. It's on the bucket list. It's something that I would like to buy one day and to pair up to that Motley het albino. You get, if the albino proves out, you get Motley tiger albino, whether it be purple phase or white phase or lavender albino is yet to be seen. Okay, we've got to see if we can prove them out first. So that is a stunning snake. I'm sure there's a couple of pictures that have gone through. These pictures were taken today. I was visiting that friend of mine today. Okay, this snake here, this next picture is one that I really want. This snake is a Goldenchild purple albino. Absolute cracker, absolute stunning snake. Look at those blue eyes. That is one of the most beautiful snakes I've seen. I love Goldenchild, I love the gene. Now, I would like to, if one day I get a snake like that, maybe even that one, is to pair it with that Motley purple albino het titanium. Now, obviously the het titanium will disappear, okay? But what the great combination will be is that Goldenchild is an incomplete dominant gene or a dominant gene. Motley is a dominant gene. They're both albino, visual albinos, okay? He's a purple albino, she's a lavender albino, okay? But so we'll see what we'll get. I have punched it into Morph Market Genetic Calculator. We'll either get purple albinos or lavender albinos. As I say, I'm still a relatively new retic breeder. So that is kind of where I want to go forward in the project. And then obviously, like the flagship project would be those 2 yearlings there. I'll just show 2 more pictures of them here. That male there to that female there, when she's of size and of age, that'll only be in about 4 years time, and the goal of that is to produce super Motley purple albino titaniums. I don't even know what that looks like. I've tried to find it, I've tried to search it on Morph Market. I haven't been able to find. I've been able to find a whole bunch of other morphs, titanium morphs, Motley morphs, purple albino morphs, but the actual super Motley purple albino titanium I haven't been able to find on Morph Market sold in history. Maybe I need to Google it and actually have a look. But in fact, if I've Googled it and I've found it and I've done the editing of this video and I found a picture or as close to get, this is probably either it or as close to it as that I can find on the internet. I hope there's a picture here. If there isn't, I haven't managed to find one. If there is, this is either it or the closest I've come to finding one. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a little bit of a change from our ball python videos that we normally do, but those are the retics, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next video. Cheers for now.